Let's take this journey one more step ahead. Please welcome our next speaker, Ms. Monica Sharma. It's also a great privilege that Mr. Preet Singh, who is from 2009-11 batch, is also with us. We welcome, sir. Madam, may I have your permission to begin? Thank you. She is our alumni from 2008-2010 batch. She has done her graduation in BSc from Pune University. She has more than 4 years of experience as an HR professional. Madam is currently working as Assistant Manager HR at EXL Service. Prior to this, she has worked with Hansa Management Services Private Limited as Executive HR. Madam has done successful training need analysis program along with vendor Suwels Group in Tanzania and campus recruitment for ISM, that is Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad. She is expert in training and development, recruitments, and employee engagement. I request ma'am to kindly address the batch.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Yes, ma'am. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Jay sir for inviting me here. I know he has been inviting me from quite long and somehow this year I managed to come. So thank you so much. It's always been a pleasure to be back in the campus where I've spent 2 years of my life. And still when I was just coming down and those memories coming, just crossing my mind and the time that I've spent here. So I welcome you all to IIBM, and since it's your day, so I'm not going to talk about myself much since my introduction has already been given to you guys by your subordinate. So all I'm going to talk is about you. So guys, and I'm not going to make the session boring because I am not at all prepared with the speech and I'm not at all good at speaking and giving speeches. So let's make it more interactive rather than, it's only me speaking and you guys listening and you end up slouching on your chair. So that should not happen. Okay? So let me start off with, since I'm an HR person, so guys, I'm not going to talk on any particular topic that I have prepared, for management or anything like that. So let's talk in general about your current, what next 2 years you're going to do here. I'm sure that you have come here with some thoughts in your mind, some planning about your background, what you have studied, and accordingly you have decided that, okay, you want to be here and you want to do the management studies MBA, right? So let's talk about your aspirations. I mean, what you guys have thought, what you're going to do here for next 2 years, where are you going to be in next 2 years or 2 years down the line. So any thoughts in your mind, like since you're doing MBA, how many plan to go for HR? Okay, let me talk about my my field area first and ask me how many people are interested for HR. Okay, good to see guys as well, because you usually tend to see girls going for HR stream. So, and how about marketing? Woo, that's a number. Great. Hospitality? I mean in marketing, sales, hospitality. No one? Okay. Finance? Finance people are too brainy guys. And I really keep myself away from them because I'm really, really bad in maths. Okay, not a problem. Great. So guys, you can shoot any question in between if you have any questions to ask me. Let's make it interactive, guys, because I'm feeling very odd now. I've spoken too much, I guess, in next 5 minutes. I'm counting on words, how much I'm speaking. So let's make it interactive. You want to ask me anything? Anything. It's be it HR or anything. Yes. Do tell me your name as well.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Palak from Bangalore. Ma'am, as you are from HR field, ma'am, I need to ask that what are the sub-divisions for further fields in HR only, and what is the best scope?
What is the?
Means which fields have the best scope?
Best scope. Okay. See, good question. Just have a seat. HR, I'll tell you, is not, just one field. It has many subdivisions. But then again, that's what you call as a HR generalist. When you're talking about an executive or, a recruitment executive or a training executive, that means that person is for that one particular field he or she is working into. But HR has a wide horizon, it's a vast field wherein, there are n number of things you can do. It's recruitment, it's training and development, it's training analysis, it's again payroll, employee engagement, employee grievance, many things. And to talk about that, what is going to be the best thing and which has the biggest scope, it's very difficult to say. You need to have an idea or an experience in each and every field of HR, so that tomorrow if you go and join some company, it should not happen that you just have idea of one thing. If you're working in a company, make sure if you are being given one department, say for example, if you've been asked to handle payroll or you have been asked to handle recruitment, you are doing your field work, but at the same time make sure that you have an idea and you have knowledge of other areas as well, right? Because whatever you learn, it never goes wasted. If you're not going to implement it in current organization, tomorrow when you move on to some other organization, you will definitely implement that. Okay, and HR is again such a field wherein I'm telling you, whoever is going to be in HR, whoever plans like after 2 years you plan to move into HR field, whatever you learn theoretically, it's totally different and opposite what you do there practically. I mean, these are the theories and knowledge that you will be studying in college, but when you do actually perform there practically, it's totally different. You know how you come to know how you deal with vendors. Again, there's a kind of marketing involved. When you're dealing with a training vendor for the people, for your employees to whom you have to provide training, you have to bargain, you have to negotiate the courses and the different kind of courses that the company will be providing. You have to negotiate on that basis. You have to do admin job. Being in HR, you have to do admin job. Trust me, I'll tell you my experience. When I joined as a management trainee with Hansa Management Services, I was of a big dream, okay, I'm going to change this, I'm going to do that. But the first thing I ended up doing is, I was, actually doing admin work, that was booking flight tickets and booking hotels. Because when I joined, other colleague of mine who was in travel desk left. So it was all me who was supposed to that. I was of the opinion, oh my God, I'm an MBA. I'm not supposed to do this hotel booking and flight ticketing. Am I supposed to do that? But then, as I said, knowledge never goes wasted. You have an idea, you learn things, I know, today I know how to do international booking. Whether it's for hotels or whether it's for flights, because I have negotiated with the vendors in South Africa since my company was based in Tanzania. So I know in Dubai, in US, I know how to get track on Google, how to see, everything. So this is really very important in life, that never think that it's not related to your field. This is not what you have learned, and the job that you've been given is not the one you're going to do it. Yeah. Again, I have noticed many times that MBA students, once they pass out, they have this habit of not habit in the sense, it's something ingrained in their mind that once the placement starts, we're going to go with brand companies. No matter what the profile is, we're going to go for brand companies. They don't even bother to see the job description, whether it's related to their profile. Are they going to be satisfied in the profile? Okay, package to one extent is really very important, because obviously you guys are here to study, to get good jobs with highly paid salaries is important. But guys, at one point of time, please understand, do not run for brand companies. The smaller the company, the more learnings. If it's a new company and it's just been established like 10 years back or 15 years back, and it's not a brand company, not like Infosys, Accenture or Reliance or anything, but any XYZ company which is not very well known, don't back off saying that, okay, this company hardly appears, it's not been there. When I went for Hansa, trust me, Hansa didn't even have a website. You know, when you go for an interview, you obviously prepare yourself. You just go do all the search, do your homework. You read about the company on the website, because when the interviewer asks you question, what you know about the company, there was not even a website of Hansa. It was like under construction. So we just had 5 slides ka PPT and a few 3-4 lines description given about the company, that it's a Tanzanian based company and in Pune they just have a back office. That's it. But still I thought, no, I know I'm going to get a good chance, good opportunity here, because I'm a fresher, I have to learn. And I took that opportunity and I grabbed it. So please remember, whenever the placement, whenever you're going to get companies who will be coming to your campus for hiring, make sure that you go through the job description very well. Okay, whatever you have learned in last 2 years. Okay, and the final year wherein you will be going in your own stream, maybe HR or marketing, in sales, hospitality, finance, it is meeting your requirements. Study the company on website. If it's not there, ask your teachers, your management, your professors about the company and get your thoughts clear. Yeah? Any more questions? Yeah. Good afternoon. Hi, Soumya.
You decided to do HR beforehand, or when you came here then you decided HR or marketing or finance?
No, I always wanted to do HR because I'll tell you, please have a seat. When I planned to do MBA, before that I had 3 years work experience. I was working with EXL before I joined again EXL, and I wanted to do MBA, but you know, when I was working in EXL, I have seen HR people coming there. They have an attitude, you know, not a negative way I'm saying, a positive attitude, how they come and how people approach them, how friendly they are. It's a very interactive, you know, give and take kind of relationship, you know, speaking to people, understanding their needs, their grievance, engaging them in different kind of activities, which is very important. And I found that very fascinating. I was like, wow, I want someone to follow me and approach me all the time. And I don't think being in operations, I will be, you know, all the time being given so much of importance. People coming to me and asking their salary queries, their yearly appraisals, their ratings. So I still have those, you know, people coming to me, ma'am, appraisal kab hone wala hai, rating kab milegi, when are we going to get the promotion letters? So, you know, people coming and approaching you. So I found that very fascinating. And that was the decision. That's the time I thought that if I'm going to go for my management studies, I'll definitely do MBA HR. And that's what I did, and I'm here. So that passion should be there. Do not change. I mean, you must be having some thoughts. It happens at times, you know. Now you have come here and you have given a thought that, okay, I'm going to do my MBA in marketing or in finance. But with the time that you spend, you study, you understand things around you, you come to know about the market, you tend to change your thoughts. Ki no, yaar, I don't think marketing is a good thing. I'll go for some other stream, which is not wrong. Which is not wrong. Obviously, you must have taken this thought that you're doing marketing or finance in your during your MBA must be because of some impression. You know, you must have seen your friends or any of family members in your house, and you thought, yeah, she has done marketing and he has done, they are doing well, even I'm going to do marketing. Make sure that you completely study and research about it, and you have that confidence ki yes, I can do that. Then go for it. Just don't take a hasty decision of, you know, just because someone XYZ did, your friend did, and that's the reason you want to do it. Unless and until you don't have a complete passion, drive and hunger to do that particular job, you cannot perform anything. You need to give your 100%, your heart and soul in whatever job you do. And guys, hard work never get wasted. But remember that, don't do donkey's work by doing hard work. Do a smart work. Okay? Yes. Okay, someone from this side.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Asif Ahmed and I'm from Kanpur.
Hi, Asif.
While I want to be an entrepreneur, will opting HR will help me in any way setting up my business?
See, I understand that HR is a heart of any organization, but yes, it will definitely help you to set up a business, because the infrastructure, the management team, everything you will be organizing. But yeah, if it's business point of view, then I guess marketing is much better, because HR will definitely follow, since you will be having experience, you will be looking at people. It's directly going to start off with a business, or you're going to work for some time. Once you're done with your MBA, are you? Yeah, so if, say for example, if after MBA 1 or 2 year you want to gain some experience, you want to understand the market, you want to understand people, so you will be working for 1 or 2 years, for example. So you will understand the organization, how it works, their HR will be there, so obviously you'll get an idea how to do it. So I guess if you're doing it from a business point of view, then marketing is better and HR will follow along with it. Yes, you have a question.
My name is Nagarjuna. I'm from Rajasthan. Then what are the problems you face and what has to develop for having a good placement during these 2 years?
Sorry, I didn't get you. What problems I faced during my journey in 2 years? Okay.
Not in 2 years, means throughout your
Work experience.
What has to learn from that?
Yes, sure. Sit down. Very nice question. I'll tell you since the beginning. I remember when I completed my MBA, that was year 2010. And if you guys know that year 2010 was a recession year, wherein there were no jobs and companies were hardly hiring anyone, whether it's marketing, finance or HR, and even if the companies were coming, they were hardly paying anything. You guys will be surprised that when we did our internship during our MBA, we were not even given stipend. That was the situation. But now companies are coming and they are paying very well, they're giving good stipends. So it was a cause of worry. But I'll tell you guys, never get demotivated with these kind of things. I know the college was completely trying to get the companies in during that time, but I myself tried doing that. I completed my final last semester exams, and I was like, I cannot sit home like this. So for timing, I joined a consultancy where I was paid only 6,000 a month, and they used to make us work like from 9 o'clock in the morning till 7 to 8 in the evening, and that also target based. It was a recruitment consultancy. If you meet the targets, you get paid the money. If you're not, there's just half money deducted from your salary. So that's the way, when chips are down, it's not that you get demotivated, or I'm not getting paid, and I have paid so much for my MBA thing and I'm not getting any job now, so what? Have patience. These are part of life. You learn from these struggles that okay, this is how I did and see where I am now. So it's very important. When I joined the company also, I was new to HR. Whatever I learned theory, as I told you, it was totally different from what I was doing there as practical. So learning from your subordinates, from your colleagues, from your managers and seniors is very important. They are going to shout you once, twice, thrice. Be mad and be idiot and listen to them. All you want to know that कि आपको अपना काम निकालना है. You have to listen to them, whatever they say. But you are learning at the end of the day something, right? So it's very important. So do not try to show attitude. Oh, he's showing me attitude. I'm not going to go and ask him who's at the loss. It's you who's at the loss. Okay? Yes. Yes.
In industry, what is your biggest problem you are facing in organization and how you come overcome it?
See, problems as such, I won't say ki no organization, this organization has a problem and this organization doesn't. Every organization has a problem. You will see this, no organization is good and no organization is bad. It's up to you how you guys present yourself, how you take the struggle, how you take the punches in life. It's very important. That's what I said, do not get demotivated. You will find at times when once you start working, you will find that there's a lot of politics going on. You'll have frustrations and disappointments that I did so much of hard work and still have not been given any reward or recognition. You need to have patience, all I can say.
But when some problems are not our hand to see in a different way. Like you are saying, there is an organization politics.
you will learn that once you start working, once you start gaining experience, you will understand the mindset of your colleagues, your seniors. I won't say that everyone is bad in an organization. You will definitely have good your managers whom you can speak directly if something is bothering you. If you feel that your productivity is going down, it's hampering your work profile or your production, it's hampering it. Speak to your manager. Speak to your manager, and definitely once you start working, you will know at what level and what relationship you share with your manager. So you will find you will yourself feel comfortable to go and speak to him or her, whoever it's going to be.
And my question is that as a HR manager, how much careful to identify a right person, right candidate?
How-
much tough to identify right candidate?
How one should identify right candidate? Okay, it will be difficult to say. More important is it's the requirement that we have. If we are looking out for a particular candidate, say for, please have a seat. For example, we are looking out for a candidate for a marketing executive. Yeah. So there's a job description that has been prepared for that particular profile. Okay. There's a difference again for executive, if it's different, and for a manager, it's going to be totally different. If you're looking for a fresher, for a candidate who's a fresher, so obviously it will be just his CV of what he or she has done in next 2 years in college, the internship, and based on that we'll be asking the questions, his communication skills, which is more important. In marketing, communication skills are very important. Your knowledge is very important. So for a fresher, we will be asking him or her questions based on whatever he has studied in last 2 years in marketing, in his internship. So questions will be based usually on internship, his communication skills, his attitude, his persona, everything matters. For experienced guy, obviously based on the job description, we will be asking the questions to him and his work experience. Simple. And then there will be a technical round of interview, which the senior managers who are like in marketing, they will be asking. So from HR point of view, my question will be related to his job description and his work profile a little bit, and more on communication, his attitude, it's positive, negative. So my questions will be based on that. Yes.
Now my name is Mrityunjay Mishra and I am from Jaipur, Uttar Pradesh. And I would like to ask you that moving in an event management company, it is quite different from the FMCG and the IT company. What would the HR manager look during interviewing a person in the person that he can take him in his event management company?
See, for event management company, the person has to be dynamic. Communication skills should be excellent, and the personality should be excellent again, because you will be presenting yourself in front of the crowd, right? So you have to be very smart, you have to be interactive with the people. It's not just, okay, there's some event and you have organized it, but you have to engage people in that. So employee engagement point of view, it's very important how well you are, gelling up with the people, how well you entertain people, that's very important.
Ma'am, I want to know that, ma'am, people think that it is related to only marriages and all. How wide scope does it have if we open our joint venture or something of our own in the event management?
I didn't get your question.
If I need to make my own company in
Event management, okay.
then what's the scope in the market?
Again, you will have to study the market survey. I am not very well versed with the event management thing. Yeah, Jasprit can answer that question. You can answer now. I guess many people will be having that question. Jagpreet, come on.
Yes, I can say loudly. What is the question?
If I open a venture of event management myself, I want to indulge myself in that business of my own, then what's the scope in the market? And most of the people think that it is just related to the manager and anniversary. But today, I have, like, more than 400 events are being organized in Mumbai in a single day. So what the scope and what the companies are today working on, how we can move on.
My voice is not enough. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
See, since I am working with a different and unique company, and we we are catering to the event management companies. For the past 1.5 years, what I have seen is that your events, as you said very correctly, in one day, multiple events are happening in a different location. The scope is very high. If you are thinking of opening an event management company, first thing is that you need to have a market. You need to build your reputation in the market. You need to have a network. Okay, network as in you need to have a tie-up with different event management, parallel event management companies, small who hires your artists. For example, you have Honey Singh. Honey Singh has been hired by XYZ company. He has been hired and he is being paid some certain amount of money. You need to tie up with XYZ company that I want Honey Singh shows at Kanpur location or in your Nagpur location or anything. That you need to have, first of all, a tie-up with this kind of companies. A relationship, a goodwill, and to become a successful event manager, you need to be a dynamic person. And more than dynamic, a hard worker.
So one more thing. So like having no experience how events are organized. So just shall we, after completing our masters, move to an event management company, have 2 to 3 years experience, then move on to our own business, or should we move from the college and just open it?
No. I won't recommend. I won't recommend that because see, first gain experience, first take all the knowledge. Because event management, it doesn't mean that if you do an event management for a music event, it is not that getting your music guy and asking him to sing. You need to have a security guards. You need to have your tickets. You need to have a brand partners. You have to have a media partners. You need to have a sponsorship. In India, that is the thing that till date, the events are being conducted by the sponsors. We totally depend on sponsors. We do not depend on the sale of tickets. Okay, so take experience, gain experience, have knowledge, then come to the market with your brand.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions on engagement? If you would like to ask it, okay, yeah, please tell.
My name is Ananta Walia. My question to you is, ma'am, as you shared, you should choose smaller companies because there are number of chances of landing. You know, how could you say that in large company there are less number of chances of landing?
No. You've gotten me wrong. I'm not trying to say that you should not go for brand companies. It happens that at times when companies are coming for placements, and you just keep waiting. Oh no, let a brand company come. Let a company which has brand, they should come. Then only I'm going to apply for the interview. Please don't do that. If a good company who is not having a good brand and no image in the market, but still it's doing good, it has a good turnover, and it's matching your profile, you can do well, please go for it. Do not wait for brand companies. In is chakkar mein you will lose opportunity. That's the only thing. I'm not saying that don't go for brand companies. If you're getting a good brand company, please go for it. ऐसा नहीं बोला नहीं, मैम ने बोला तो ब्रांड कंपनी के लिए जाना ही नहीं है, हम तो जाएंगे ही नहीं. Don't do that, guys. I'm just explaining you. So कोई भी, it's not brand and non-brand. There's nothing like that. Okay? Yeah, please.
This is Ashish. What should one do if he is confused in selecting the streams?
Why you're confused, first of all? What thought, with what thought process have you come here that you want to do MBA?
Firstly, for that I would go in brand, but as I see here, the scope in marketing is far much than what is in brand.
That's what I said, that as the time you're going to spend here in the next 2 years or 1 year down the line, I'm sure you will be able to figure out in which stream you want to go once you start studying. I said there are times when people are really confused. We have decided that we're going to do MBA, but in what stream are we going to do MBA? We are still confused. So let the time go. You keep reading, keep searching. It's finance and marketing both. Try to balance it, see where the scope is more, and where most important is what you can do, what makes you happy. End of the day, guys, you should be satisfied with your job. It's not only about earning money. Okay, I'm telling you, it's not only about earning money, but peace of mind is really very important. If someone is giving you 50k per month, but he's just taking you for a ride, you're working like donkeys from 9 to 8 in the morning, there is 9 to 8 in the evening, and there is no peace of mind. End of the day, when you just lie on your bed and you're not satisfied the work which you're doing, it's not related to your profile. It's just lead to dissatisfaction. That's it. So it's more important that whatever work you're doing, you're putting in your 100%. You're loving your job, guys. You know, every morning you get up and you say, yeah, I'm happy and I'm going for my job. It should not have no shit. Again, I have to go. Saturday kab aayega? This should not happen. It should not happen. Trust me, it happens. Once you start working, once you have, you know, managers who are really pressurizing you for things. I have gone through these things. That's the reason you can see these expressions on my face, and I'm really sharing a live example with you guys. It happens, you know, at times when you really don't feel like going to office, you're just getting up and saying, I don't want to go. When is Friday going to come? That means I'm waiting for weekend. It's Monday and I'm asking when Friday is going to come. So this should not happen. You're giving your 100%, you're loving your job is more important. Yeah? Any more? Yes, please. You should be very confident about yourself. When you speak, agar jhoot bhi bol rahe ho to say it with confidence. That's more important. All I can say. That's the quality of HR. Trust me. Whatever you're talking, say it with confidence. Nahi pata hai, just say I'll revert to you in some time. Let me check with it. So be confident. Be interactive with people. Make sure, because being an HR, you will be interacting with all the employees, right from, you know, from executive level to your CEO level. Since you are the HR for all the policy related engagement activities and you know, salary related, payroll, right from executive to CEO, they will be approaching you. So you have to be very calm, very patient, because एक employee आएगा, वही same सवाल पूछेगा, आगे से 10 और आएंगे, they will ask you the same question. You will get irritated, but you have to be patient with them. That's more important. Patience and confidence. These are the only two things for an HR. And trust me, HR, yeah, sugar-coated thing. HR is a thankless job. You know, no matter you do how much work, how much efforts you're putting, you have done this much for employees. ये records है, इतना attrition बचाया है, इतना retain किया है. No one is going to appreciate you. So don't feel bad about it. Oh shit, I'm not even appreciated. How this can happen? I'm doing so much of work. It's a thankless job. But you are happy. Somewhere in your mind, you are happy that okay, you have done so much. And obviously, hard works never get wasted. So you'll be appreciated. End of the day. Don't worry. Any more? All happy and content? Have I answered all the questions? Any doubts? Acha, apart from HR, any other questions you want to ask? About the college you want to ask me, guys? Come on. Yes.
Can you please share your experience on IIT?
I would love to. Yes, ma'am.
Prior to that, I would like to speak briefly. So the timings from morning 7 to night 11.
Yes, we have done that. I mean, trust me, like my experience out here was very, very good, I must say. Jagpi, don't laugh. Relax. I'll tell you, the first 6 months were really bad because I was finding it very. First time I was staying in hostel. I mean, before that, I used to stay alone with friends, obviously, in Pune itself. But staying in hostel and staying with friends is totally different. You have a lot of restrictions, you know, like for girls hostel. I don't know what's the rule now. We had girls hostel within the campus, and guys hostel was outside the campus. So for guys it was like all cool, they can come and go anytime, and for girls like at 10 o'clock you have to be in, 7 o'clock in the morning you have to be out, and if you're late even by seconds, 100 rupees fine. Vaag mare. I mean, and especially when on Tuesdays, Tuesdays you guys wear sari, today also. Yeah, I used to be always late. I used to get up 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays when it was sari time. I used to hate it. I used to sit a whole day in the class. I never used to move from my seat that I'm wearing sari today. And none of my friends used to come close to me and talk because they know it's Tuesday and she's wearing sari. She's in a bad mood. So, but with time, we got used to it. And trust me, now when I look back, I really miss the time that I've spent here. And you know, when I speak to my my batchmates, So we really missed. There's one roll house out here when you go towards Pune, Bombay Highway. You will see many shops and cafes out here. We used to go there. So life has been fun here. There were many activities, like we have this Rotary Club which organizes different camps, like blood donation camps and many things. So you have the opportunity to get involve yourself in these kind of activities, because tomorrow when you move in an organization, these are called as CSR activities, which are a part of every organization these days. So if you're going to do all these things here, it will be easy for you to perform these kind of activities, take those initiatives in the organizations to like you start with you drive this blood donation camp, you drive this clothes donation thing during Christmas, Diwali. These are the activities that we do currently in our organization, because we have learned here in college. So it was really fun. I seriously miss those days, and I feel like coming back again. I really miss this hostel when I see now guys are staying here. My brother is in this year batch, so he's staying in the same room where I used to stay. So I really miss that time, and I really feel like wish I can stay one week life at least back in this college. It was really fun. So you will, I don't know how many of you guys are used to hostel life, or this is the first time you guys are staying in hostel? Everyone first time? How many first time? My God. You're gonna have a good time, but till the time you get used to it, you will find it a bit difficult. But trust me, once you are out of this college, you will be very punctual about timings, about things you do, basic etiquettes you will follow, and trust me, you will remember all these your life. So it's really very important, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy time out here.
How was your first day in the campus? What you feel at that time?
My first day, I was shown that this is my room, and I was not aware who my roommates are going to be. So I came in late, so that's the reason my roommates, they were already in some lecture they were attending, so I was just sitting in the room all alone. And I was obviously very disappointed and irritated that, oh shit, I'm just stuck in a jail now and I cannot go out. But then my roommates, they came and they were very friendly, so we started talking, and it just happened, we started off.
Tell me about the campus during the lecture, what you feel that time, not the hostel.
Lecture, it used to be fun, since I was the batch, I guess I was the only batch who had a huge crowd of 350 or 300 lot. So this whole lane used to be full of the classes, and even down it used to be full of the classes. So it used to be fun, I mean, I enjoyed bunking lectures at times, and our seniors and our professors chasing us that where are you running and not attending lectures, those suspensions, oh my God, I still remember. Let me not talk, Jessa will kill me for spoiling the batch, but trust me, you will enjoy each and every moment here. It's fun. We used to celebrate festivals like Ganpati, Baisakhi, Holi, oh my God, Holi used to be, you can imagine, playing with mud and all. We have done it, trust me. And after, I guess the last Holi I played was here. After that I have not played Holi at all. Yes. We used to do, I was fine. I have paid a lot of fines all the time when I used to get late, especially when we used to go for dinner, and 10 o'clock used to be the in time. So many times we used to, tell Wagmare sir, please leave us, it's okay. He's like, no, tomorrow I'm going to give your name to Jay sir and you will be suspended then. So many times we have done. I have ended up paying the fines many times. But then that's the way you learn. From second year I was very sincere, and I don't think in second year I hardly paid any fine. I was on time. Yes.
What is the contribution of IIEDM to build your personality and career, and you're happy with it or you expect something else from it?
Very nice question. It's very important, and yes, it has a big role in what I am today. I'll tell you, like, though I had a work experience, but addressing the crowd is something was not my cup of tea. And the way I'm speaking today, I don't talk that much. If Aarti ma'am remembers, she was the one I used to sit in the corner. First of all, I'm very disappointed where I'm stuck in the jail, so I hardly used to talk to anyone. But then Jay sir asked me, to address the crowd. There was one Teachers' Day, and that was the first time I went on the stage and I addressed people, and it really helped me in speaking to people openly like this, and addressing that stage fear kind of thing was totally gone. I started interacting with people more, and as I told you, punctual, sincere in your work, that was more important. One thing I was taught here, that no matter what work you're doing, it never goes wasted, because it's end of the day, even if it's failure, you are learning out of that, so that next time when you do it, you know how to do it and you're not failing the next time. So these are the things I've learned, and I've gained more confidence, and I am confident today, so I am speaking so openly in front of you guys. Otherwise I used to find it very difficult. Even if I have some frame thought of mine that I'm going to talk like this, I used to fumble what I'm going to talk, what I'm going to say. So it is important. That's what I've learned. Any more? That's it? Okay guys, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Do well, and hope you get good placements. All the best to you guys.